All right, so nucleotide excision repair, it's like my favorite of all DNA repairs. But basically what nucleotide excision repair is you take a piece of damaged DNA, you isolate the piece of damaged DNA, and then cut it out, remove it, and then resynthesize the strand and ligate it back together to make sure that you don't have any more damage or mutations left in your DNA strand. It's pretty similar to like base excision repair. So base excision repair, you're taking one nucleotide and repairing it. So it is like kind of spot treatment in that way, but with nucleotide excision repair, you're repairing a whole section. That's why nucleotide excision repair can be used for things like ultraviolet radiation repair. Or ultraviolet radiation mutation repair, So in nucleotide excision repair, there are basically two different kinds of cells that nucleotide excision repair is going to be happening for, either bacteria or eukaryotic cells. The process is very similar, but the proteins are different. So in bacteria cells, UVRA and UVRB are going to find and isolate the damage that has been caused by the ultraviolet radiation or whatever it is, and then they're going to recruit UVRC. UVRC is going to come in, kind of stretch out two arms. It can cut about 12 nucleotides, so 6 on each side. It's going to cut it out, remove it. Well, UVRD is going to come in and remove it, and then after that, polymerase 1 is going to come in and resynthesize the strand, and then it will be ligated back together. So that's how it works in bacteria cells. And like I was saying, it's very similar in eukaryotic cells as well. In eukaryotic cells, though, it's XPC. The XPC is going to find and isolate the damage in the DNA strand. It could also be RNA polymerase 2, but I'll go into that a little bit later. So once the damage is found and isolated, then XPB and XPD are going to cut out and remove the damaged section of DNA, and then it will be resynthesized and ligated back together, just like how it was in bacterial excision repair. Now, the difference in eukaryotic excision repair, I mentioned the RNA polymerase 2. RNA polymerase 2 is going to be kind of marching back and forth during transcription, and what that's going to be doing is it's going to be checking for any mutated DNA during transcription. When you're transcribing DNA, you're turning exons into proteins in a roundabout way. So if there's any damage, it's going to cause mutations and severe harm if it isn't caught before it's turned into the protein and put into the body, right? So RNA polymerase is going to be scanning it, and if it finds something, and when it does, it's going to kind of drop its pack, and then it's going to do nucleotide excision repair right there. It's going to just take it out during transcription. This is going to happen most with the exons that are going out of the cell and affecting the cell. The introns that are staying inside the cell, we care about those too, but they're not directly coding for proteins, and they don't really leave the cell. So we care about them, but we would much rather focus our efforts on helping the exons be completely fit for their services, transcribing for proteins and as DNA molecules. So nucleotide excision repair, very important. If you don't have working nucleotide excision repair, it can cause a lot of diseases. It can be faulty. So I found a research article from the Handbook of Clinical Neurology. It's on the disorders of nucleotide excision repair by Isabel Rapin. And basically what it talks about is if you have faulty nucleotide excision repair, then ultraviolet damage is going to be very hard, if not impossible, to repair. So people who have faulty nucleotide excision repair are going to be highly susceptible to ultraviolet light. They're going to have slower RNA synthesis. And so basically what this is going to mean is when they're exposed to sunlight, the sunburns aren't really going to go away. And when they get melanoma from that radiation, that's not going to go away either. That's how you get xeroderma pigmentosum, which is basically a condition where you can't repair ultraviolet damage at all. So you're just covered in melanomas. If we were to have photolyase, like other mammals, we wouldn't need to rely so heavily on nucleotide excision repair. But because we are placebo mammals, we do not have photolyase, so we need nucleotide excision repair. It's very essential. It's the only reason why we can walk in the sun and survive, and probably one of the only reasons that our species is still alive and thriving. So that's nucleotide excision repair.